Hey everyone, it's Tawney. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Memorial Day. I was getting confused with Labor Day, but I know that they're not the same. But today is Memorial Day, and I thought I would do a makeup video for you and just kind of like chit chat and like do makeup and film while I'm doing it. I have a drink here. It may get in the way because it's already starting to bother me because it's in my way. I don't know where to put it, so we're just gonna have to work around it. And I am sorry if you see it in the frame, so just keep that in mind. Um, how are you all doing today? Are you doing all right? Are you like coping with everything going on in the world? This is like such a hard time because like I don't know. I kept saying before all of this that like I needed a break, like I needed a vacation from my life, like I needed everything to just like slow down and like be easier. And I feel like while like this is that time, it's not quite what we wanted. You know what I mean? Like when you say you want a break from things, you don't like want to be laid off from your job or like struggling to get food and having to go to like food pantries and like beg them to give you a meal for dinner. You know what I mean? Like I know some people are in that position and it kind of sucks. Well, it does suck. I shouldn't say it kind of sucks, but it sucks that like we just needed a break from like the hectic lives that you know, work and school and families and stress and everything like that, and then this is what we get. But I mean, you have to work with what you have, and this is what we have. So I'm trying to be more optimistic and focus more on the fact that I needed a break. I was becoming very stressed out. I had a lot of like anxiety about school and about work, and I like my job, but I do parenting lessons, and I just kind of feel like I'm not, like, I don't know. I'm, I don't know. I just feel like I need to, like, step back and, like, really appreciate and evaluate what I do as a social worker in my field and all this stuff because I am so used to working with children, but with what I do at my job now, I end up teaching parents how to work with their children, which it's somewhat the same thing. And I can end up, playing with the kids and interacting with the kids and still kind of like talking to them and things like that. And I like, I don't know. It's just not what I really saw myself doing, even though I saw myself doing home visits. So I don't know. So I was just like so stressed out that maybe this isn't the career path I want to take, and this isn't the type of work I want to do in the field. And just like, I was just so overwhelmed with the thought that maybe what I was doing wasn't what I wanted to be doing. And I love my job and I love the people I work with. And like, I don't want to say it's easy, but like in terms of like social work and like the type of work I could be doing, it is fairly easy. And I know the system very well. Like what we do at work, I know like what I'm supposed to do, the documentation, the paperwork, the filing. I know all of that stuff down to a T, to the point that I like never really forget anything because I'm just it's so ingrained that like this is the routine and the steps I have to do every time I do a visit and stuff. But like I was starting to become overwhelmed with the fact that maybe this wasn't quite what I wanted to do or what I saw myself doing in life. And like, I don't know. I needed a break. And a little sniffly today. I don't know why. Maybe allergies. I'm not getting sick, I swear. But, like, I don't know. It was just so much. And I just felt like I really needed a break to, like, figure things out. And when you work, especially in the field, you can only take, like, so many days off. You can only do so many things to, like they say, if you're stressed out, take a mental health day. But then at the same time, they're like, well, we'll take a day off because we need you. Or you don't have any extra personal days, so don't take the day off. Or, well, that's not considered a sick day, so you can't take a sick day off for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. So I felt like I really needed to just take a breather. Like, honestly, like, now that I do it now, I realize, like, I needed a breather. I needed a chance to, like, you know, be glad that I have a job and be glad that I'm doing something in the field because I know some people who are in the social work field can't find a job that like they either want to do or they can't find a job in general. And that kind of sucks that like, especially when you graduate from getting a master's or a bachelor's degree or even an associate's degree, you expect to find some sort of job because you're not qualified in the field that you want to work in. But that's not always the case. And the more I've been like looking at jobs, like not looking for jobs, but just like I get alerts and I just see the jobs that are available in the area and things like that, I realize that there's not a whole lot out there. And I was incredibly lucky to get what I got, like to have what I have. I'm trying to use correct grammar in English, but I'm trying to be more grateful that like I have a job, and especially now that I have a job, even though I hate doing online video calls and I hate having to contact my clients over the phone or video chatting or whatever because it's so impersonal. Like it's not the same as a regular home visit, but I understand that like we have to adjust ourselves to what's going on around us. And even if the families don't like it, we still have to support them in a way that like they can understand it better, if that makes sense. And like, I don't know, this whole thing has been such a like cluster, and it's like stressed me out so much. Like there's been times where I just like sit around my apartment and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know like when is this gonna end? When is life gonna go back to normal? Are we gonna be stuck in our apartment forever? Like when all this went down, I remember we weren't sure if we were gonna keep working at our office or if we were gonna be sent home. And because my work is all like grant funded, we should have the money through the end of the fiscal year, but that doesn't mean we'll get the money. Like it's complicated. I don't want to get into anything and get myself in trouble, but like I was legit afraid that they were going to lay us all off. We were going to be furloughed. That's what we kind of got an email on our last day, that we were going to get furloughed, and we were going to sorry, I'm distracted. That we were going to, have to file for unemployment. So a bunch of us were freaking out at work, and it didn't help that we were all like, unaware of how severe the situation was. We had no idea like how long this would last. We didn't really have any information about the furloughing situation, so we were all just so stressed. And I remember going into the bathroom and just like crying, like sobbing my eyes out because I was thinking, am I gonna lose my job? Like my boyfriend didn't have a job at the time, and I had bills to pay, and I'm sure I say this now, but at the time I thought my landlords will let me miss a payment, or they'll let me pay late or something. Like I can make it work. I can always go over to my grandma's to have dinner because she gets like social security checks or like retirement checks or something. Like she gets enough that she'd be okay, and I know that she would like help take care of me. Like I know it sounds dumb because she's my grandma, but like she would make sure that I was okay and like I had food and things like that and I was fed. And I knew that like my family would be able to support me, and my dad has an essential job. Like he has one of the most essential jobs I could ever possibly think of. And I'm honestly grateful that, especially with my mom too, because the work she does, that they're both considered essential so they can still work. Because my mom figured out that she would be able to work from home, but not all of her colleagues or her staff would, which kind of stinks. But at the same time, I'm glad that my mom is able to, or would be able to if that happened, because then it meant that she would be able to help, bring in money and things like that for the family and whatever, even though my dad makes, decent money and whatever. But, I was like, I knew my family would be able to help me, and I knew that they wouldn't just leave me out to drown. But like, the thought that I would have to like bum money off them to survive for months scared the crap out of me, because that's almost the same as like whenever student loans don't go through, or you don't get any scholarships and you have to pay out of pocket, and you're like, where am I going to get these couple $1,000s of money? Like, I never have that much in my bank account at a time. Like, it's just kind of one of those things that like you're never prepared for. And I think that's something that we all have to like think about, whenever things go back to a new normal or a somewhat normal or a normal or whatever, is that we need to plan for situations like this. Because I mean, nobody expected this to happen, but at the same time, like, you should always have an emergency fund. You should always have money laid out in case something happens or you lose your job, or like just enough to keep you by until you can figure things out. And it's so hard to like, it's one of those things I can tell you guys to do, and then here I am not doing it. And I totally get that. I totally get that I could be one of those like preaching to the choir type people and blah blah blah. And like, I don't know, it's so difficult. And I feel like that's like with my job, whenever I teach people how to budget and how to manage their money and how to make sure they're saving the right amount and things like that. Like, it's so difficult to tell somebody that and then do it yourself. Like, I don't know. I'm sure if you tried budgeting before, you'll understand that. But like, I don't know. And this is just such a crazy time, and like, it's so dumb, and I keep thinking this is so dumb, but I told a woman at work, like, they came out with Animal Crossing and for the Switch and everything, and I really wanted it, and I, like, kept trying to think, like, do I have the money right now? Can I afford to spend, like, $350 or $250 or however much I spent on mine to get this system and the game and to waste my time playing it and all this stuff? Like, not waste my time, but, like, spend my time playing it and everything. And I remember I was just sitting around all the time, bored to death. Like, I would end up, like, stress eating, which I already do anyway, so it's not, be even worse stress eating. But, like, I got to the point that I was just starting to, like, eat myself away. Like, I was just, like, not, like, eating food, you know what I mean? But, like, stress was eating at me. And there was just so much that, like, I just couldn't handle my thoughts. And, like, I just kept getting into this more, like, depressive state. And I would just get so angry and, like, I just lash out because it's, like, the only way I knew how to, like, express my feelings and how I was, like, what was going on in my head. And my boyfriend was kind of like, you need something to get your mind off of all of this. Like, you need something that'll help you, like, relieve the stress and, like, feel better. So I bought the game, and, like I told the woman at work, it's probably the best thing I've done in a long time. And I know it sounds so stupid to buy, like, an item, worth money and things like that to, like, buy your happiness or whatever. But, like, I was in such a bad place, and, like, emotionally and mentally, and, like, I just needed something to, like, help me get out of that. And I feel like that, like, really helped. And I know it's so stupid, and I know, like, people that don't play the game aren't gonna get it, and, like, I don't know, but it's just, like, it's just made things easier for me. And I don't know. I feel like it's really, like, it couldn't have come at a better time. I feel like a lot of people feel this way as well. Like, it's a good release, and, like, we don't have to focus on what's going on in life and all the bad stuff and anything bad going on in our daily lives and whatever, and, like, within, our personal, area and things like that. And, like, I don't know. I just really needed something to, like, stop me from focusing on the bad. And I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with, because I remember seeing Jen Loves Reviews post on her Twitter, like, my job used to be my hobby, like, YouTube used to be her hobby, and now it's become, like, a chore. And she said it's not really, like, not like it's not fun anymore, but she's like, I need something else to get me, from that. And, like, when you're stuck, like, your job is all you have kind of a situation, like, I know she has family and whatever, but, like, when your job is what you have at the moment, like, you need something else to help you. And, like, this is what, my game has done for me. So I feel like other people need something like that for them. And, like, it doesn't have to be a game, it can be, like, going outside and riding your bike, or going for a walk, or, video chatting your mom because she lives far away, or you can't go see her, or things like that. Like, I don't know. It's just such a crazy time, and I just keep thinking, like, when is it gonna end? When are we gonna go back to normal? And I'm just like, there's no, like, it's not gonna go back to normal, because that's how everything like this happened. But I have my theories on that, but I'm not gonna go into it in this video, because I understand that, like, this is a touchy subject, and there's a lot of things that go into it, and, like, it's just a lot. And it's a lot for people to handle, and I totally get that, like, seeing stuff on the news and, like, so many people dying, and, like, that Times News, newspaper that talked about all these people dying, and, like, it, had, like, a one-sentence explanation as to, like, who these people were as, like, family members and, like, members of society and, like, all this stuff. And it's, like, so hard to, like, understand and deal with, especially when, like, you've never had to deal with something like this before, Like, we've never had to deal with such a global pandemic at, like, such a high, like, the death toll, and, like, how crazy is it? Like, I don't, it's just, it's a lot. And, yeah, it's a lot. I keep using the same brow product, and I'm trying to use new brow products, so I'm not using the same thing. But this is, like, the one thing, the CoverGirl brow thing. It's, like, the one thing that just keeps popping up on top in my makeup collection, and I'm like, well, I might as well use it because it's sitting there. And I mean, I need to use brow product anyway, and I need to use it up. I think I have a backup. Yeah, a backup. Yeah. I made sure to stock up. Made sure I had extras, because I thought I was running out at some point. Not that I, like, stocked up on my makeup, because, oh my gosh, there's a pandemic, and I need to make sure I have it. Like, wasn't that crazy about it. But, what are you guys doing for Memorial Day today? I know that most of you will probably be watching this in the future, if not never. But I'd like to know you guys, like, what your plans are for the day. Like, if you're, having a cookout with the people you live with, if you're, watching TV all day, if you're, microwaving something because you live by yourself and you can't go anywhere, you don't have the money to buy something, from a restaurant, things like that. Like, I'd like to know, like, how your Memorial Days look. And I know that Memorial Day, like, we think people go out to picnics and barbecues and hang out and spend time with their family members and blah, blah, blah. But not everyone has family members that they can, like, hang around with. So some people, like, this Memorial Day is the same as any other Memorial Day. Like, nothing they're doing is anything different than what they've ever done. Because they're just so used to, like, spending the day by themselves or working or whatever. But, my grandma is having a super tiny get-together with me, my mom, my sister, and my dad. And we're gonna have some good food and chit-chat and catch up and things like that. And she lives across the street from us, so it's not like, we're not having to travel. I mean, we get to walk across the street. I mean, I have to walk up the street because I live, in my own apartment. But, I think it'll be nice to get out and, like, do something like that. Like, I've gone to visit my parents, like, the last week because my boyfriend's been helping my dad fix the porch roof. And, like, he texts me and he's like, come on over here, I need your help. And I go over and he's like, I knew I could get her over here. And it's like, I was laying in bed doing nothing all day, and you got me out of that to come sit here and do nothing. And, like, I don't know. I guess he was like, well, you need to get out of bed. And he's all the time like, oh, you spend too much time just laying around. And, like, you're always like, he doesn't, like, call it, like, I'm depressed. But he's always like, you're just laying around. You don't really do anything. You don't get into anything. And he's like, you probably weren't doing anything when you were at home either, were you? And call me out on it. Like, I know I'm not doing anything, It's just what it is. And I don't know what I want to use. Okay, I think I'm going to use the California Love Palette from ColourPop today. I'm feeling it. But, so yeah, we're going to go over and have some good food and chit-chat and all this stuff, and that'll be nice. Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be a nice day. It says partly cloudy, but there's currently fog on the mountain, and it looks kind of gross out. I mean, it looked gross yesterday. I was just like, if it's going to rain, I wish it would rain. I wish it wouldn't just be like this yucky, like, in-between kind of weather that, like, you can't lay outside and tan, you can't go swim, you can't, like, make plans to go for a long walk because it could rain on you. Like, the weather forecast has showed rain for, like, the whole week, and we've gotten, like, no rain. So I kind of just told my mom, like, plan for the opposite of what it shows, because that seems to be what we're getting, is the opposite of what they're predicting, which is kind of like, I feel like that's the whole point of, like, weather predictions and things like that. Like, it's never what you, like, you can predict something, but it's never going to be 100% accurate. But, I don't know, I wish it would get a little bit, like, sunnier out, because it would make me feel a little bit better, because I don't know if I'm, like, I guess I'm suffering from allergies or something, because I've had the windows open in my apartment, and people are starting to move their grasses, and that doesn't always bother me, but, like, my boyfriend's been, like, dying from his allergies. Like, I know I shouldn't joke about that, but he's been miserable. Like, he's had a stuffy nose, his eyes have been puffy and red, he's, like, had a hard time with, like, congestion and, like, head, all that stuff. So, like, for him, it's, death, because of, the men probably exaggerate their illnesses and things like that. But, so I don't know if maybe I'm getting allergies too. I don't know. I hope not. I sometimes get allergies, but they're more in the form of, like, my eye will randomly water. Like, right now, this corner of my eye is starting to, like, tear up, and it irritates me, because then I can't do an inner corner, like, color, like, the inner part of my eye. I can never put, like, a shimmer color there, because my eye's like, no, let's cry, and let's just make you touch it and get it all off there. And I'm like, it makes me, I can't do my under eyes, like, the lower lash line, I can't do any of that, because, like, it's whatever, I don't know, it's just, I gotta deal with it, it's life. But, yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. Oh, I watched a video, I think it was Abby Williamson, don't quote me on this, because it was the only video I've watched of her so far, but she talked about YouTubers being problematic, and it was like recently problematic. It's not just like an accumulation of all the events that made YouTubers problematic and all the crappy things they've ever done in their lives. Like, it was recent. And I didn't realize that, like, people don't like Walmart. Like, not in the term of like, oh my gosh, do you like Walmart? Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, she mentioned that where she lives in like Seattle / Washington or wherever, like up in that area, she said that they like petitioned to keep Walmart out of their town. And that like blows my mind considering Walmart's like the biggest shopping center around here. Like, we have a mall and then the Walmart is in the mall. Like, it's part of the mall because it used to be by itself. And then whenever Kmart left our mall, they built on to where Kmart had been and made Walmart. So we have like a Walmart super center, and then there's also a Walmart about 45 minutes away from me, which is like the closest one, I guess. And that's like their main shopping center type thing. Like, that's kind of, what happens when you live in, I want to say rural, but I'm not quite sure what that means. So I'm just going to like, when you live in like country-esque area, you kind of don't get Louis Vuitton and, Chanel stores and whatever. Even if, I don't know if they have stores like that, I don't know. I don't shop at place. I can't afford those things. But, like, it blew my mind that the people didn't want them there to the point that they like prevented them from even moving in, And she said that there had been a massive walkout between them and Whole Foods and Instacart and like all these big name companies. And I'm like, nobody's talking about this on the news or on like, because I read like Apple News and Yahoo News and like main things that are on my phone, really. That's how I get my news and things like that, because I don't watch, like, I don't get TV. But like, it blew my mind, like, nobody was talking about it. And it's like, you kind of need to talk about both sides of the news, good or bad, so that way people can make their own like assumptions about how they want to feel and believe and like things like that. And for them to not talk about it kind of is like, well, I want to know what's going on so I know whether or not I should be petitioning against or like banning Walmart or not shopping at Walmart. But like, here's the other side of that, is from when I've watched Shelby's videos, is that you can only shop and go with what's in your, like, what you can. So, like, because I live in such a, like, small area, Walmart's all I have, like, I can order online, but sometimes online shopping's hard for me, or, like, I'm not able to completely do that, and things like that, so I kind of have to buy with what, I kind of have to buy from Walmart and do that and, like, support them, even though I don't want to, but, like, sparingly, I guess. I should, like, if that's possible, just to try and do it sparingly. But, like, I don't know. You can only do what's in your control, and you can only do so much. And if all you have is Walmart and you need groceries, you have to go to Walmart, and you just have to, like, do that. But then you shouldn't, like, oh my gosh, Walmart's the best thing ever, and I just love it so much. Like, you don't have to go to that extent. But, like, oh gosh, my inner corner was wet, and now my brush is wet. So now it's giving me, like, this super wet highlight on my brow. And I'm not complaining, but I'm not, like, that's not what I wanted to do. Might as well do it on the other side, since the brush is still wet. Take a second. My under eye is, corner of my eye is, like, waterfalling right now. I don't even bother with it. I'm honestly, like, I'll just wipe it off later, because it is bothering me, I'm not even done with my eyes yet. Calm down. But yeah, like, I don't know. All of this is, like, it's a lot. And for people that, like, I don't want to say aren't in the know, but people who don't, like, get it, like, they don't understand that, like, we shouldn't shop at Walmart because they're a terrible place, and by not shopping there, it'll prevent people from, like, it'll prevent them from growing, things like that. Like, people don't always get that, and I think that's something we have to understand, is that there are some people who are just, like, not out of touch, but they just don't see that, like, the ramifications of something like that could be that big, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but, oh my gosh. My eye's, like, so wet, it's, like, getting onto my lid. I don't know what the heck is going on with me. I haven't watched anything new on TV, to change the subject. I haven't really watched anything new enough to like, oh my gosh, I found a new show. Like, I finished season 2 of Dead to Me. I tell you, I was like, oh, they're not gonna have a season 3. Like, they're gonna drop it off. That last scene was enough to build an entire series, like season off. I think, like, it's enough that you could like, because of who was driving the one car and what was in the cup holder and what happened with the other people, and it was, you know, where they get the money from to get the car and like all this stuff that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it was a lot, and I loved it. I really thought season 2 was good. I was afraid it was almost going to kind of be like Big Little Lies, where season 1 was better than season 2. Although I did like season 2 of Big Little Lies, but it was a lot of like heartache and heartbreak, and I'm not here for that. I'm here for like people getting together and like falling madly in love and like, you know, super romances and things like that. So I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I've been thinking about starting Outer Banks, but the more I see people talk about it, the more I'm like, maybe not. I'm not always one to like pick up on the newest crazes and the newest like shows. Like, every time there's something new on Netflix, everybody has to watch it, and it feels like everyone is watching it. And like, you're not everyone if you don't watch it. And I know it's stupid to say, because like, you don't have to follow that kind of like, you don't have to follow that, but at the same time, you want to like fit in and understand what people are talking about, which is what I wanted to do with The Bachelor. You know, I was talking to my sister yesterday, and then I realized I don't like shows like that. I don't like shows where they're like, oh, let's break like 10 girls' hearts so that one girl can fall in love, but it's still that Hannah Brown chick, as if she like deserves 3 chances whenever she had her chance, you know? I'm making this worse, and I probably should have waited till it flaked off, but flaking off doesn't happen with me in my mascara. I don't know what it is with my face, but it doesn't do that. It doesn't happen that way. So I'm just gonna, like, yeah, that looks fine. Take all the makeup off, and then hope that my beauty blender can, like, fix it. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I watched Tiger King, but I didn't watch Outer Banks. I don't know if I plan on watching that new movie with David Spade, because I'm not a big David Spade fan. It was so funny when I met my boyfriend. He was like, oh, did you see Grown Ups? I'm like, no. And he's like, why not? I'm like, I don't think any of the actors in that movie are funny. And I, like, suddenly realized that, like, every movie that any of those people are in, like, I'm not, you know? I was only going to watch the second one because I had Taylor Lautner in it, and I think he was only in there for, like, a few minutes. Like, not even anything worth, like, not worth watching the whole movie over, you know? You just Google a clip on YouTube and watch it, you know? So, like, I don't think I plan on watching that. I didn't watch that movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, that's her name. I didn't watch that movie because I don't like Adam Sandler, and I was kind of ticked off because they took off Bob's Burgers from Netflix and put on all these Adam Sandler movies and specials and things like that. So I kind of was like, well, you got rid of Bob's Burgers, so we're gonna ban Adam Sandler. And I know that's stupid, and like now it's stupid, like even more stupid, considering it's all on Hulu and like, you know. But like, I don't know. I just kind of was like, no, I don't want to watch Adam Sandler anymore. He kind of like ruined part of my life because I watch Bob's Burgers all the time. But Hulu has them all, and they're all updated, so I mean, I could go from that. But I don't know. I'm trying to find something new to watch. I've heard that All American is good, but it's on the CW, and I don't get the CW, and I don't think they have that thing with the Hulu where you get the episode like the next day. You know, I like that FXX does that because I can watch The Simpsons all the time, and I can watch like any show that like American Horror Story and things like that. And like Freeform had done that too, because I remember there was a show I used to watch. I think it was Shadowhunters, and if I missed it, I would just, I think I'm going to do nude lip. But I remember I would miss an episode and just wait till the next day and watch it on Hulu. So that way I didn't have to like completely miss it or miss out or not be able to finish the rest of the season because they never posted like, they never let you get caught up. And sometimes, I remember from like years ago when I lived at home, Freeform would have the old episode on before the new episode, so you could at least watch one episode ahead, like behind, to catch up. And like, that was nice. But sometimes they didn't, and it was a movie, and then you're like, well, how am I supposed to figure out what happened? Because that's why I hated watching TV growing up, because I never had reruns. So if you miss something, you legit were never going to see it again. And that, like, I remember, like, Nickelodeon, and I think sometimes Disney Channel were bad for that. Like, they would show the new episode and never show a rerun of it. And, like, even watching things on, like, ABC, CBS, NBC, things like that, like, they never had reruns. So, like, you had to stay tuned in every week. And that's not always possible. Like, you know, growing up, I had band on Wednesdays, and I had things going on, and I was going places. Or, like, you know, if there was a funeral you had to go to, or you had to go grocery shopping or things like that, like, you had other obligations or, like, just family time. Like, your lives were devoted to TV, and they didn't get that, and they didn't post, they never posted reruns for you to catch up on these things, and it just, I don't know. Welcome to my rant about TV. Like, that lip looks really good. I don't know what I did to my lips, or what this lipstick's doing, but oh, it is nice. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, and I'm kind of done the video. I'm going to touch up my makeup a little bit here. Thanks for coming and just kind of chilling with me. I know a lot of times when people do these things, they, like, talk about stuff, and they have, like, a whole agenda they want to go through. And, like, Abby Williamson, I swear her video was, like, 10 minutes long. She did her whole makeup and got her point across. And I sit here, my video is 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know how it's possible. But, yeah, thanks for watching my video. If you have some suggestions for future videos, please post them down below. Don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe. I think it's over here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Don't forget to be nice in the comment section below. If you are mean, I will delete and block you, because we're not here for that. We're trying to be nice and inclusive and welcoming. And, yeah, thank you for coming to my video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you liked my rambling, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!